Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another weekly list update. We're talking albums that I've been listening to over the last week, with special shoutouts going to independent creators this time. Before I do that, though, a quick announcement. The end of May is coming up, so that means it's time for another album deep dive. The choices for this month's pick are Frank Ocean's Nostalgia Ultra or Pink Floyd's The Wall. There should be a poll somewhere around me-ish. I'll count votes until next Sunday, so be sure to get your vote in. Now, back to the music.
Gaps and Nomads by Joe Jess.
This was a very interesting listen that Joe Jazz actually sent me himself over on Twitter, and you should follow me there. I'm at my most unhinged. It's a good time. The closest way I'd describe it is Brockhampton pop rap and delivery with odd future aesthetics mixed with a lot of late 80s to early 90s rap. It's a bit rough in certain parts, especially with the singing, which is either spot on or just a little bit too shaky, but it's still a good listen. And while they aren't on TikTok to my knowledge, please tag them below if I just can't find them. Be sure to follow them on their other social media and their music as well.
Eyes Towards the Sun by Soulchild.
God damn, this album was fucking beautiful. Soulchild is another algorithm find from TikTok for me, but she has the sound of electronic soul, R&B, and rap under some pristine production on this. A short but punchy album of great flows, singing, and again, especially the production. I cannot overstate how spacious of an album this was. Be sure to give Soulchild a follow below. More of our albums are probably going to end up on these lists.
1989 by Taylor Swift.
Okay, quickfire, because we all know why I decided to listen to it around now. Yes, it's not as good as T-Pab, and Kendrick even out-raps Taylor on the album, kinda. The Bad Blood remix is so much better than the original, and I decided to listen to that instead of the original. But at the same time, 1989 is some catchy mid-2010s pop. She wasn't the best to do it. We'll get to that later this week. But Jack Antonoff would go on from this to some of Lord's best work, so it earns its right to exist. The Grammys are still absolutely fucking racist.
Straight Outta Compton by NWA.
I was kind of surprised when I realized I'd gone 23 years of my life without giving this legendary album a full listen. Surprise to no one, it's a great album. Surprise to some is that I think there's a little bit more beyond the bigger hits of this album, as some of the album cuts have some interesting production later on, and it does actually have a few ways to still kind of shock people today, like it did back at the time. It's a well-deserved classic. Highly recommend listening to it as soon as possible.
Road to Casablanca, Armani White.
So we've all heard the beat drops of songs like Billie Eilish, Goated, and Silvertooth all over TikTok, or maybe that's just fucking me. But there are whole songs around them on this album, and while some album cuts on here are okay, outside of the closing track, Armani rarely is the best part of his song. It's a solid album, but I do hope he's got more in development in the future.
Song Machine Season 1, Strange Times by Gorillaz.
This album sounds like Damon Albarn personally partied with every single collaborator and then just recorded the songs during the vibe of the party. They're all very distinct, and they're great self-contained singles, as the title of the album kind of implies. Honestly, one of the best Gorillaz albums, without a doubt.
Heroes by David Bowie.
Another home run for David Bowie. I prefer the catchier first half of the album to the more experimental second half, but no matter what, this album's a good time. Highly recommend. It's fucking David Bowie, of course. Duh, it's good.
Tubes by McBass.
This was an absolute vibe of an album. Past the vibe check, flying colors.
Dwight Spitz by Count Bass D.
A commenter recommended vibe of an album that's like if Jay Dilla co-produced an album with MF Doom, but Doom only rapped on a few of the songs and kept exclusively on the beats. It's another solid vibe and a definite recommend for other hip-hop heads like me.
If Looks Could Kill by Destroy Lonely.
Look, I tried. I really did. I fucking tried. This goddamn album is so long. It is an hour and 20 minutes. It does not have a reason to be an hour and 20 minutes. There's no good goddamn reason this needs to go on for so fucking long. And it's not even dumb fun like a lot of rage music. Who the fuck is turning up to this shit? I've listened to 450 albums as of after listening to this album. And this was somehow one of the fucking worst. I don't think I've disliked an album this much in a while. And an album has not bored me this much in a while. My teleprompter's been going, and I'm technically at the end of my fucking script, and I haven't read none of it. Why? Because I needed y'all to know this Destroy Lonely album is shit. That's all for this week. Be sure to let me know your favorite songs from any of these projects or other albums and artists I should check out in the comments, and I'll see y'all for the next review. Peace.